All the ones that rolled in late last night seem to be a missing. Oh, but instead you're hiding in the shade. I see.
Got them made in the shade.
Yeah.
A birdie told me that you're giving those away.
Yep, I'll have to get more done up once we get back east, but yes.
I need a white one.
You need a white one.
That looks good on his white truck, but that wouldn't show up at all on mine, would it?
Right. Yep. But yeah, the wife makes those, but right now we need to get more done up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You do a lot of stuff like that?
Yeah, she has all the equipment to do the stickers and all that stuff.
I need to make a bumper sticker that says "Welcome to Oakland, California" with broken eggs all over it.
Yeah. How about one that says "free breakfast" with broken eggs all over it?
That won't identify who the culprit.
Oakland Diner.
Yeah, Oakland Diner.
Oakland Diner.
There you go.
Yeah, eggs are always free.
Yeah.
Somebody said earlier that doing that ought to carry eggs with us.
Yeah.
And when people come out and start throwing eggs at us, have eggs to throw back at us.
We need
Yeah.
fishing nets and butterfly nets, and we catch them.
Well,
They'd be so.
well, that's what I
annoyed.
had said. You know, they're just trying to donate the eggs to the convoy, but they didn't realize the eggs were fragile. You know.
We forgot to
No,
catch
the problem is they're fragile.
Yeah.
That's the whole problem.
Yeah. But if we threw an egg at one of them and hit them,
Oh man.
Oh, that'd be all over the news.
then you would see the police. And
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be doing what we're supposed to be doing if we did that?
You got to remember, in 1933, Hitler used the brown shirts to do the very same thing in Germany.
Is that right?
Yep. They stirred up, they beat people in the streets and everything else.
Yeah.
So Hitler said, if you vote me in, I'll take care of that. And Night of the Long Knives, as soon as they got him in power, he killed them. He killed them every one that he could. So they don't even realize that they're being used, you know. So it's happened before. Just
Some of them think it's okay to be used, but they don't know they're going to be killed off.
exactly.
They have no idea.
Yeah, they think they're anarchists. They think that, you know, and there's no such thing as anarchy. You can't have anarchy. Somebody's always going to rise to power, and it's going to be the meanest, baddest, ugliest, you know, evil person in the camp. Look at Chaz. You know, they went in there and thought they had their little paradise set up, and rape and murder and all kinds of stuff like that. Look at the Ottawa protest. They rolled in as a peaceful protest, and crime went down in that city. See the difference?
Have you heard any of the news from up there?
I've heard very little. Very little.
I haven't heard
I have a
any
couple
other
friends up
than
there.
my son texted me the other day and said he's seen news or something.
We're doing a meeting tonight?
I don't think they're doing any evening meetings right now.
Okay.
Just the morning, because we're not sure what time we're going to roll into each place. So we hate to set a time and then something happen, and you know, we're trying to be more
on schedule.
on schedule.
There we go. I like that.
Yeah.
More punctual, you know.
There we go. There we
Okay.
go.
So no meeting tonight. Cool.
No.
All right.
We'll just talk amongst ourselves, and I got some lies I want to tell, and
You got some lies you want to tell?
Yeah.
You don't want that on camera. So
oh yeah,
do your
that's
thing.
what I said. Yeah, I want them on camera. I've been working on them, man. They're hilarious. Let me tell you one right now.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me one.
I was in a
Give us a good lie.
I was in a truck stop,
Yeah.
El Paso. Beautiful afternoon. Sure enough, man, this pimp mobile pulls in. I've heard about these things, but I've never really seen one except in like the 1970s movies. It looked just like one of them. Pulled in, low rider. Sure enough, two ladies get out. They got little handbags with them, you know, and they start walking. One of them starts walking towards my truck, and I'm thinking, nah. So I thought, preemptively stop this. I rolled my window down and said, sweetie, I'm not interested in what you're trying to sell. And she said some things in Spanish, which I don't speak, so I only can believe that it was talking about my rugged handsomeness. And she walks off, and she walks across the aisle to the other truck parking. Sure enough, the window rolls down. I see money come out, and she reaches in her bag and pulls out 2 tamales.
Missed out on tamales, man.
Selling tamales.
I was interested in what she had to sell after all.
Yeah. Then you decide you're
That's
hungry.
a lie. That's never been a lie. That's never been a lie.
It's never been a lie.
Actually, I heard that story, so it may not be a lie, but I didn't see it.
But it wasn't your
mine.
story.
See,
Yeah.
I've been working on these. For
I see.
years.
I see. You,
I've been hanging around truck stops, man. I got a dozen of them.
You had
Yeah.
it down pretty well, like it was yours, so that's good.
Oh yeah.
Keep selling it.
Yeah, by the way, my chat's telling me that I need to tell you that up here where the caretaker is, they have a Christmas tree and a snowman on the front porch. You need to go on up there.
I wanted to,
That way we can have a Santa
why
on
do
the
they work
porch.
on my side of the street.
Well, yeah, we
That's my side of the
need a
street.
Santa on the porch, you
Stay in
know.
your lane, dude.
You can stand up there and sell pictures of yourself. As
Yeah.
Santa came to town yesterday.
I did dress in gray instead of black this morning or this
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah, but you got to get the red suit out, you know.
I've never had one. I never wanted to be Santa.
I
The funny
haven't
thing-
either, and I have been asked so
I
many
know.
times. No, I'm going to be Santa.
But see, you'd have to get some stuffing and stuff like that. I don't need any of that. I just need the suit.
When I was being asked, I used to weigh 330 pounds.
Did you really? Holy cow. You must feel a whole lot better with all that going.
Oh
'Cause I
yeah.
know my legs and stuff.
When I was 62, I had that gastric bypass surgery. Oh, it went down the state.
Huh. I thought about doing it. But,
I made 250 once.
excuse me just a moment.
Yeah, I thought about that bypass too, and then I found out that I can eat steak, bacon, eggs, and Brussels sprouts and lose weight, and I'm like, hey, that sounds like a better
That sounds
plan.
good.
I went to Whole Foods, dropped like 40 pounds, and then my gallbladder went, and that dropped another 40.
Yeah, but seriously, I just gave up grains and started eating more steaks and pork chops and all that stuff, and I lost 100 pounds just by eating good food, you know. Yeah,
It's the junk they're feeding us.
Yep.
And they want to sell us diet food to get rid of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Hell.
Came over a while ago and asked me what my name was, and I told him. And he said, "Oh," he said, "I was wondering because when I pulled in here, behind you, somebody asked me how Bryant was,
Yeah.
and I didn't know any Bryant, so I thought they were talking about the Bryant that used to set this up."
Nah.
So,
I mean, you got a T in it though. It's more noticeable,
Yeah, but he
you
didn't
know.
that.
Yeah.
He said he just thought they misspelled it and thought they were talking about that Bryant.
Yeah.
So he said he told them that as far as I know, he's fine. He's in Pennsylvania giving talk or something.
Yeah.
Ta-da, here you are, man. You're quick.
Yeah.
But then I didn't tell him anything. He still didn't know.
He don't know who you are yet? Oh my, he'll figure it out sooner or later. The chat will tell him.
I started to, and I thought, no, just
Nah. But yeah.
Wait till they ask to get to know me. Then I do weird things. Think other things till they get to know me.
But anyway.
Carried a beer bottle around for 3 days, moving it. I didn't even.
Yep. But anyway, I got.
Are you aware your mother is at our house?
No, I am not.
Yeah.
nice to know.
Yeah. I mean, she does randomly show up from time to time, but if she's looking for me, she's going to be disappointed.
You probably won't be there.
No, I don't think I'll be there. But anyway. Yeah.
Oh, we got a new flag man over there.
New flag man?
We are uniting the country for freedom.
Yeah. They're all still on top of their cars over there.
Vehicles.
Every American is free, including our doctors, our nurses.
I guess that guy that fell off the fire truck the other day is had surgery yesterday. Or?
Yeah, they said he's in surgery, I guess, today or yesterday. But yeah, that's why we're hauling around that car in the trailer, because that's his guy that's driving for him's car.
Oh,
And yeah, he stayed behind and was getting his surgery done.
God made us free, and we will fight
Yeah.
for freedom.
But yeah,
so that guy is stayed with him is that guy with the real curly hair,
Yeah, the bigger guy with the little dog and the curly hair.
yeah.
Yep. That's the one. And yeah, his truck is classified as an RV now. Yeah,
My truck.
they're asking if your truck's an RV.
Yeah, I downgraded it because I knew I couldn't get my commercial driver's license physical anymore. So
Yeah.
downgraded or changed it to an RV. It saved a lot of insurance.
Yeah. And plus, it keeps DOT off your tail.
Right. Don't have to stop at scale. I keep expecting to have one of them fly out and stop me when I drive
No.
by.
I mean, you don't have no decals or anything
Right,
anymore,
that's true.
you know? Yeah. Oh, and what he's hauling someone's little trailer house thing that she built. She was just here and she walked off, but yeah, someone lives in that thing. I don't even know what to call it.
Little homemade mini trailer. There she is, right there.
Oh,
Yeah, they were
I
asking
guess we're calling it the Hobbit House in Quartzsite this year.
the Hobbit house.
House?
Yeah, because I'm a little hobbit in there, I guess.
Yeah, they were asking what he's hauling. I said it's a little like trailer. I don't know what it's
Camping
called.
lowrider style, keeping it at a tilt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
she
What's your
paid-
inversion bed? You know, head first down. You know, they claim it's good for you.
No, it's not.
She came up with a good way to travel with it. Put it on somebody else's trailer.
Yeah, think of the fuel mileage she's
I
getting.
went to get the receiver hitch and it had 4 screws instead of 2, and they didn't have the other one. It traveled differently when there was solar on my rack because the aerodynamics was a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you take that off?
The wind took it off. It took the
Oh.
front 2 panels and
Oh.
slammed them down on the back
Okay.
2.
Yeah, Mother Nature decided you didn't need it no
I've
more.
had a great trip so far. Lost 3 solar panels. My air balancing came apart, and then my U-joint broke. Then I backed into a girl this morning. It was sad. Because I thought it was in drive, it was in neutral. I don't have a light on my gears.
Oh.
Well, it might be
I haven't
dangerous for
hit
me to have
anybody
a
for-
trailer on this trailer.
I
then.
haven't
Yeah.
hit anybody for 20 years.
I mean, hopefully the bad luck don't follow you, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So I try to just say trouble's following me because everybody likes to say I'm trouble.
Well, who knows?
Well,
I
my
mean,
friends know me. They're laughing right now.
I mean, sooner or later, I mean, the fact's going to be in what happens. You know, if you do something else and the trouble keeps following you,
then I am going to have to become trouble. ain't
yeah.
I?
Or you're just going to have to hang a horseshoe around your neck or something and hope the good luck will run the bad luck away. You
2
know?
extra donuts out there and went a little rogue.
Yeah. By the way, they're asking, do you remember your Cash App? I know I put you on the spot there.
To send it, you mean?
Yeah, if they want to donate to you, they ask if you need money and what's your Cash
I
App.
need $840,000.
You buying a mansion or a yacht?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need 840,000. Okay.
Actually, I just want a new
His
truck.
convoy retirement
One
fund.
of those big
One of the big
$200,000
sleepers. Okay.
And be able to hire a driver occasionally when I'm tired.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. So you're going to get a big brand new truck and you're going to pay a driver to drive you around in it.
Well, Tim wants to drive me around. So
Yeah.
it's that $, capital B RYANT, capital B OSTROM.
Yep.
Was I right?
That's right. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know how to spell your name better than I do, but that's what I thought it was, you know? Yeah. And yeah, Gypsy takes regular non-menthol. Someone was asking about Gypsy as well. Yeah.
My wife's email, she said she wanted to watch that.
Okay. Yeah.
What they recorded.
Yeah, it's Mud Pig Trucking on YouTube.
What?
Mud Pig Trucking. Yep, like a pig in the mud. Yeah. Or if you can remember MPT. Or you got a pen? And yes, he does have a bathroom in the truck and a shower. I'm gonna steal Santa's step for a second there.
I need to learn how to use that shower one of these days.
Oh yeah? I don't know. I could use a shower. I might figure it out for you.
Oh, you got the shower, right there.
Oh, I know. That's what they said.
I need paper.
No, I'm gonna use the corner of his post-it note. Oh, you gave me one I need to warm up first. I see.
Didn't that work? I got 3 more up here.
How that goes.
You need it?
Huh?
I got a whole bunch.
Oh
of
no,
these.
I got a bunch in the truck too. I just didn't have one on me. I've gotten out of my trucker thing, you know. Usually a trucker, you always have a pen on you. But yeah. And thank you. By the way, yeah, the food will be right back there later. It'll probably be ready, probably dinner time.
No, they said 6 o'clock.
Yep.
They said 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So what? About 8:30 or so.
Yeah, I mean convoy time now will probably be, I don't know, 7:15 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're getting better at running on time though. I mean, we still joke about it because they'll say, "Oh, we're having an 8 o'clock meeting and 8:30 the meeting will start," you know. But we're getting better. Yeah.
I never did find out about this morning's meeting. I don't know how did the word get around about that?
I think they announced that at some point.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, my wife reminded me of it.
I guess I must have been somewhere else.
Time to bust them out.
Yeah, it seems I'm always somewhere else, but the chat always keeps me in line, you know. They'll tell me, "Hey, food's ready, go get a plate," you know, or
This is Santa's truck, right?
yeah.
Okay. So let me unplug this. I'm gonna get these flags.
Oh, are you up for a tour? They asked if they could see inside.
Sure.
Do you want to go in the back door?
Yeah, let me go.
All right.
Make sure I might have to clean house.
Yeah, might have to clean house, pick up all the trash. We're gonna go meet him at the back door here. No, I don't. I just borrowed a pen off of Bryant, actually.
Okay, well I got one.
Right there,
Where?
getting out of his truck.
You up there hiding in his truck?
Yeah, here he is.
I sat the truck long enough. I gotta.
You gotta take care of business, huh? I'll hop up on his back porch. I don't need the step. I got long legs.
This is it.
All right, y'all ready?
Guess I didn't get that plugged in. This is my kitchen.
We got a sink and an ice maker, a coffee pot. And no, that's not a dishwasher. I keep thinking it's a dishwasher, but that's a refrigerator.
That's the refrigerator.
Yep.
Microwave.
Yep, microwave up there.
Hot and cold running water.
Yep. Got a sink.
This is my modern, up-to-date toilet.
Got to slide in here. Yeah, he's got a shower in here with a toilet.
It's kind of crowded.
It
But
looks
it
very
works.
crowded, yeah.
It works.
Shower head's up there. And by the way, y'all, I'm 6'6", and there is enough room for me to stand up in here. Yeah. Then you got a little,
Beautiful dining area.
yep, little table.
It's a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, we all need storage space. They've seen my truck. My truck's the same.
Is that right?
Yep. And then he's got a nice little sofa here that turns into a bed.
Yeah, this.
Oh, you don't need to transform it. I don't know how much work it is. But yeah, that turns into his bed.
I can sleep fine on it, just like that, as a couch. When my wife was traveling with me, then we'd open it up, and we both slept real good on it.
Yeah. And I just can't get over the room in here that I can stand up, you know?
Yeah.
Because I can't even stand up in the front of my own truck. I dome myself right on the roof. Because I don't know if you've been in a Peterbilt, but you know they kind of slope in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a lot of boxes. Yeah, there's a lot of cabinets around the top. He's got storage space for days.
Big TV.
Yeah.
I have a satellite antenna on top, but I got out of that service. It was attached to my home. What do they call it? The television dish.
Dish Network. Did you have the Sunday ticket? Did you watch all the football games
No.
and stuff?
No, I didn't get that. It was with the home program. It was only $10 more a month to hook
Add to mobile.
it up to mobile, and but then when I had to quit driving, and my wife wasn't, and I had to put her in a home. Wasn't any need for me to keep the dish, so I just canceled it.
Yeah.
TV still works local, and it works on that.
You got the antenna, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said, but you can send them over to me, this Trevor G.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, if you don't mind, they're wondering how much something like this goes for.
This is a 2015. I bought it new for $129,000.
129, that was a steal.
The dealer that I bought it from was a very large horse trailer dealer in Ohio.
Yeah.
And the horse trailer company that he sold or bought the trailers from was right across the street from this company in Indiana.
Yeah.
Where they're all made. And so he decided to try selling these, and he bought 2 of them and never sold either one of them.
Oh, so he was just desperate to get rid of them. They were just sitting
Yeah.
and sitting.
He said, I make a bundle and I'm fantastic at selling horse trailers, but I have not had any luck selling these. So.
Not so good at selling. I don't even know what to call this. It's not technically a big house because it's not a double axle. It's
Right.
only a single axle.
They call them toter.
A toter.
They
Okay.
call them toter. And the majority of the people that buy this type of vehicle are either pulling like race cars or show cars.
Yeah, it's
or
a
something, or
very
horse.
specialized thing. You
Right.
can't just haul 80,000 pounds
Oh,
because
no.
you're short an axle, you know.
A lot of horse people have them, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I delivered small teardrop camp trailers, so I didn't need the double axle for the
Yeah.
weight or anything. That worked great for that. Then last year when I lost my ability to drive commercially, I transferred it to an RV.
Yep. And it looks very comfortable. I think I'd be happy living in something like this,
It's
you know.
fantastic. It's my wife. She was able to travel with me for about 2.5 years with it, and I was gonna sell it, and I just kept putting it off, and then this came up with the people convoy. And
Yeah.
I got better and got able to drive. So
Yeah.
commercially, I can't drive it.
But you can still
But I
drive
can
it
still go right out and
recreationally.
Get in it and drive it with much less restrictions. I don't have to.
Yeah, you can just go where you want to go when you want to go.
Right.
Yep. So how long have you been driving?
About 30 years.
About 30 years. And that's commercially and, you know,
Yeah.
with this. Yeah.
Uh,
So you've seen it all. I know we've talked before about taking the truck on the ferry and stuff.
Yeah, there was when I those camp trailers. There was a dealer in Vancouver Island, and so we had to take the ferry across to Vancouver.
Yeah.
It was $800 round trip.
Yeah. I still can't get over putting a semi truck on a ferry though.
The
But
bottom floor of that ferry, they said, held 28 semi trucks.
I'd still be afraid I was going to sink and lose the truck and everything,
And
you
then there
know?
was 2 floors just for cars and pickup trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
And the company did pay the $800. I didn't.
Well, that's
pay
good.
that.
I mean, you'd have to demand a lot more in your rate if
Oh,
you
yeah.
had to cover
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, there's no CDL needed anymore because this is technically an
Right.
RV.
I still have my CDL, but I can't get my DOT physical.
Yep. Yep. So you could still drive one of these, just not for profit.
Right.
Like you could transport one for yourself, but you can't drive for profit.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna.
It sure is nice, especially when it's real cold or raining, to just pull into a rest area and fix a meal and go to the bathroom and take a shower and go to bed.
Or even just like you said, on a cold and rainy day, just have room to spread out. Because I get claustrophobic in my truck. I look out the window and I'm like, man, it's pouring. I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting on my bed with nowhere to go, you know, and you get claustrophobic, you know. It's nice to have the room to get up, turn around, you know, sit down again, change position.
Make a cup of coffee.
Yep, make a cup of coffee, have some ice, you know. Yeah. But alrighty.
I don't know what. Right now, my commitment was when I realized that I was able to go get in the truck. That's when I was last year, when I had all my heart problems and everything and was wanting to die. I really didn't want to be healed, but the one thing I used to tell my son and daughter was, I don't want to be healed unless I can be healed to the point to go out there and get in that truck and drive around the country.
Yep.
And look what I'm doing.
So you could actually enjoy yourself, you
Right.
know?
Right. And how much of a better group of people and the whole, I mean, it's just changed my outlook on people and living and everything, being able to do this.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, they said that they loved your story on Good Friday. Had us laughing and in tears all at the same time. I didn't know you had a dry sense of humor either, you know? You had some pretty funny but sad jokes at the same time in there, you know?
Did I?
Oh, yeah. When you're up on the stage there at Banning, you know, at the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something else.
I've never seen that.
Yeah. You've never seen the recording of that? Or
I don't even know where it is. The only one that I've seen, only one of me that I've seen. I just saw it about four nights ago, and it was one of me sitting in Santa's truck.
okay, I'll have to see if I can find that for you then, because I know it's on my stream and it's probably on a lot of the other streams. But
I only have YouTube.
yep, that's where I'm at, is on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of your. I've watched a lot. I just haven't been able to find the other.
Yeah, the problem with my videos is they're so long, because usually I'll start it in the morning and I'll have it running all day, you know.
Well, the one of me in Santa's truck, that's all it was. And he titled it Bryant's Amazing Story or something, but anyway, it had the
Yeah.
title, so it was easy to find.
Yeah, one of my chats just reminded me of one of the jokes where they said the hospice fired you. They said if you weren't going to die, you got to go,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, if you're not going to die, we're going to have to release you.
Yeah.
But you got my number in case you change your mind, want to
Yeah.
try again.
Yeah, that was one of the ones from it that they just reminded me of. Yeah, there was a couple funny moments in there, but like I said, I mean, I was standing there and I was the same. I didn't know if I should cry or laugh, you know? So,
It's been an experience.
yeah. But anyway,
And when I realized I could drive again, I committed to, when Mike said they were going back to California, I told the kids to get the truck ready. I was going. And I joined them in Weatherford, Texas, made the California thing, and then to here. And what my comment was, I'll go to California with him and then Washington and see what happens from there.
Yep.
So I feel that I've committed to getting to Washington, and then we'll see what happens.
See how you feel from there.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You might just keep doing laps with us until this ends.
Well,
but
yeah, I hope. The way it sounds to me right now, what they're saying is staying in Washington. I would love to see this continue. Go at least have a bunch of trucks to travel, and when some state wants to have, or when some, one of the groups in any state wants to have a rally, then
we roll in.
Then go to the rally.
I mean, and I agree there as well. I mean, I'm a trucker. I'm not used to sitting, I mean, I know we won't be sitting in D.C., but at the same time, I like getting up on the highway and just going, you know?
It's not going to be doing 60, 65 miles an hour on the highway like we are.
Yep. Yeah, by the way, I have a lot of ages here in the chat. They're all trying to figure out how old you are.
79.
79. All right, we'll set that straight there. We had 82. We had always no way he's 80. There's no way. Yep, so 79.
This past December 15th, I turned 79.
Yep.
Then I died the day after Christmas.
Well, that's a heck of a Christmas.
They messed up and brought me back.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad they did. I mean,
that happened twice, and the doctor said it won't happen a third time because whatever damage it's done my heart. Last time they checked my heart, it was operating at 25% capacity.
Yeah. So did the high altitude or anything bother you yesterday, or?
No. I feel I hadn't thought of the altitude, but it very well could be it. I have felt the last few days a little bit more shortness of breath.
Yeah, that's that thin air. Yeah.
Than when I have, and I hadn't even thought of that, but I bet it's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, once we get down off the hills here, hopefully feel a little bit better there. But I mean,
love to be able to go back to work. I really enjoyed what I was doing.
Wouldn't that be a heck of a note, though, if you could go in and after all this pass the DOT and go back to work? Yeah. I mean, heck, you're almost 80, and most people I know that old are walking around with walkers hunched over. I mean, you're standing here straight up and down talking to us,
My intention was, before last year, was work until I was 85.
Yeah.
And then decide if I wanted to retire. And I felt like I could. Didn't appear to be anything wrong with me last year.
Well, I mean, you know what they say, right? Once you sit down in that rocking chair, that's the end of it, Right. You stay up here and keep working, keep doing things, it'll keep you young.
Yeah. And I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed having my wife and I were married, or we are still married, 59 years. And something interesting a lot of people get a kick out of is my wife and I met when she was 10 years old and I was 13. And we've known each other.
So that's not even high school sweethearts. That's like childhood sweethearts. Yeah, grade school sweethearts, yeah.
Her older brother and I became best friends when they moved to the same town. And he had this 10-year-old sister and just got to know her and stuff. When I got out of the Air Force and came home, they tricked me. I was thinking of that this afternoon. Her brother, my friend, had moved about 150 miles north. And that, after I came home from the Air Force, right after Christmas, he called me and asked me if I was coming up for New Year's. And I said, yeah. He said, well, Judy wanted to know if you'd stop by and pick her up and drive her up here so she could be up here too. I said, well, sure. That started it. She was 18 and I was 21. 3 months later, we got married.
So did that cause any trouble between your friend and you? Sometimes a little jealousy there, like, what are you doing with my sister,
he was her sister.
Yeah.
She was his sister.
Yeah.
No, he ended up dying at 42.
Ooh.
But we were best friends for was interesting. Judy and I had a wonderful life. We camped a lot. Then driving, she actually learned. I had a '79 Peterbilt long nose, and she learned how to drive that.
That's a heck of a truck.
She was. I had to build up the throttle pedal and the brake and
Put a little
clutch.
piece of wood or something on so she could reach.
I made a thing that I could hang on them when she was driving and then take off, and that was before it became popular for women to drive.
Yeah, because now there's a lot of women driving.
Yeah, now there's a lot.
Yeah.
People would be amazed when we'd pull into a rest area or something, and they'd see her climb out of the driver because she was. Forget her. What she right at 4:10 or something.
Oh, that'd be a heck of a note to truck stop too. She whips it in, parks it, jumps out, and you see all the other drivers trying to get it in the spot.
Right.
You know, it's like, well, my wife did better than you.
and she could do that.
Yeah.
I actually felt better and slept better with her driving than when I used to run team for a few years, and I never did get where I got a good night's sleep with somebody else driving.
Oh, I was the same way. I used to train people to drive, and even if I trained them, I still never slept right with them driving. You know, you're always, as soon as the truck slows down, you're up. What are we slowing down for? You know.
Once she got good at driving, I'd climb back there and sleep like a baby.
No. Plus, it kind of helps the truck rocking you to sleep, right? Yeah. Although back then, I guess the roads weren't what they were today. They were probably a little rougher.
I don't know. Some of these roads today are pretty bad.
Yeah. They were in their prime back then, I guess. Now they're crumbling. Yeah.
Trucks were somewhat rougher, but
Yeah. A lot less power, though, that's for sure.
yeah.
I know I've heard stories from older drivers, you know, you just set the cruise at 10 miles an hour and just wait for it to get up the hill, you know? Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna, unless you have some more stories to tell, I'm gonna get out of your hair and let you relax a little bit, you know?
I got a lot of stories, but I've had a pretty interesting and weird life.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even that old, and I've changed careers more times than I can count. Yeah.
I young, in my early 20s, I learned explosives, and I did explosives construction work. I worked on a big dam in Northern California.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I started in the telephone industry. I was a lineman.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I knew. And then the telephone company sold out, you know, and broke up the union. And, you know, all the linemen took pay cuts and then eventually got fired, you know. So then, yeah, moved into IT and did some government contracting work there. Then became a bus driver. Then, you know, and just...
Into trucking.
Yeah, trucking was more out of desperation. It's like, well, I got these computer degrees and stuff, but I can't make any money in computers anymore because there's too many people in it now. Yeah. It was just one of those things, too many people and not enough jobs, and everyone's undercutting everyone.
Yeah.
You know, work got cheap quick. I mean, same thing happens in trucking every now and then. You know, there's too many drivers and not enough freight. The work gets cheap. But yeah, trucking was one of those things. It's like, what can I get into quick and make money, provide for my family, and, you know.
Yeah, and if you're an owner-operator, you got to pay for your own fuel. And it'd be terrible now with fuel over doubled.
I mean, I am an owner-operator, and I keep thinking, it's like, if I wasn't with the convoy right now, it's like, man, I'd be making like 50 cents a mile because, you know, the rates haven't gone up, but the fuel has. So right now they're kind of squeezing the driver, you know.
Do they still do that? They started a year ago. That fuel.
The fuel surcharge?
Surcharge.
They do, but you only really get that if you work with a big company or it's contract freight. For what I do as an independent and doing spot market, they claim it's built into the rate.
Right.
But Yeah, I don't see
That's
it.
what when doing those trailers, it was. Well, we got 285 a mile,
That's good.
and
I gotta get into trailers. That's
I
really
loved
good.
It was easy.
Good.
Like back, well, a year ago, it was 285 a mile, and that included the fuel surcharge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad rate a year ago. I mean, heck, now it's still a decent rate. I mean, you can find some 350s and stuff out there, but I mean, you're pulling a heavy trailer for 350 a mile. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like it, and I could set my own hours. I mean, I'd call the company and say I'll be there tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and pull in. They'd have a load of trailers for me.
Yeah. So it's almost like car hauling, and you're just happy to get it whenever it gets there.
Delivering was the same way. The company never set a time with the dealers. It was up to the driver.
So you just call and go, "Hey, I'll be there tomorrow morning," or whatever, and
And then I was on what they called central dispatch for cars. Always able to find at least two, hopefully most of the time three, back hauls around Ohio or Pennsylvania.
so now, like in cars, I know some of the car haulers that get paid per car. Did you get paid per trailer?
Car.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, quite often, it'd be separate. Might have to go to three places to get three cars.
Yeah. So did you get paid per trailer then? Like if you had multiple trailers, did you get paid for each one? Or?
Oh, on the trailers, no, it was just 285 a mile no matter.
Okay. So no matter how many stops there were, it was just 285.
It was always just one stop.
Okay, so you never did more
I think
than
in
one
7
trailer.
years of doing it, I only had 2 or 3 possibly split stops, and
Okay.
it would.
So it was always just A to B, nice and simple. And then did you go back empty, or did you have another trailer to take back? Or
No, after I delivered I'd start checking before I had delivered actually, and find cars to haul back to Ohio.
Okay,
So I was getting paid both ways.
so you had a car hauler that you hauled them on then? Or?
I had a step deck that was made for hauling cars. And
Okay.
hauling.
So you'd load the trailer up and go one way and unload
Right.
that and then load a car up and come back.
Right.
Alright.
I could fit 3 cars onto the trailer I had. And it had a winch and everything to load the trailer.
Yeah, that way you ain't got to, bust your back trying to get it up on there. Just pull it up on.
Right.
Yep. So they're asking if you have a favorite state to drive in.
No, I like them all.
You like them all? What about Brooklyn, New York?
I'm sorry. I like the state.
You like the state.
Yeah.
Just stay in upstate New York, right?
Beautiful upstate New York.
Yeah.
I hate going into big cities, and I think most drivers.
Oh, yeah, same. I'd much rather be out where we are now, just set the cruise and let it roll all day, Yeah.
I used to love, I hauled the trailers out of Sugar Creek, Ohio, and I loved going on that Vancouver trip. That paid good. We got an extra 15 cents a mile for going into Canada for the whole trip.
Yeah, have you seen the Canadian rates now? They're paying several $1,000s bonus just to go into Canada and cross the border.
You can't hardly do it.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's going to cost you a day or so just to clear the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved, probably my favorite was going to, there was a dealer in Mesa, Arizona. They sold so many of those trailers. They just had constant 3 or 4 trucks a week.
Almost felt like you're going to have to move in there or something,
So
huh?
you could just about deliver your trailers, get a load of cars pretty easy around the Phoenix area, out of the auction yards, and haul them back to Ohio area. And quite often I could just get another load right back to Mesa if I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, they're asking about your tattoos.
These two, I got when I was 14 years old.
When you were 14 years old.
drunk and 14. And the guy that turned out to be my brother-in-law, a friend of mine, he was about 6 months older than me. We found a tattoo shop, I think it was in Long Beach. No ID or anything.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm going to sit them down for a second because I have a drunk tattoo too that most people don't even know I have. It never got it finished. It's just the outline. I picked it out and I'm like, yeah, you know, it'd be a good idea to get a tattoo. And I got that in my 20s and never got it finished. It's just an outline.
I've got another one up here, and that's about as much as you're going to see.
It's not appropriate for polite company, huh? Yeah.
And that one I got drunk right after we got married.
Yeah.
And boy, that didn't go over good.
No. She didn't appreciate it, huh?
Not a bit.
Yeah.
She learned how to drive motorcycle and got her own motorcycle. I had been riding motorcycle for years. The first couple of times that she rode with me, she got scared to death, and she was complaining about how fast I was driving. And so I finally told her one day, I said, I'll start out real slow, and when I reach that speed where you get uncomfortable because I'm going so fast, just tap me on the shoulder. And 35 miles an hour, she started tapping me on the shoulder.
35 mile an hour. You can't get nowhere at 35 mile an hour. Whoop, tearing up your carpet.
She finally started getting used to it, and after she got her own motorcycle, it got to where she 70, 75 she was comfortable driving.
There you go. You can get somewhere at 75.
Yeah. The last real vacation that we took was on motorcycles. We did 4,500 miles.
Yeah, you were telling me a little about that. So that's a heck of a trip. Even in a truck, yet alone on a motorcycle.
Yeah. We had a great time. A few storms. She was pretty miserable. Well, I was too. But other than that, we had a fantastic time. We enjoyed being together. 2 great kids. 2 kids, a son and a daughter. They live real close to where I live now. And it's just amazing. They took fantastic care of me all last year.
Speaking of motorcycles, we got one outside the door.
Just heard one.
Yeah.
Is that? No, that's not that lady with the trailer, is it?
No, I think that's someone else. I don't recognize the girl in the back, you know.
Yeah.
By the way, they're all laughing about our drunk tattoo stories now.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that one up here didn't go over real good. Got nothing against tattoos.
Yeah.
I still don't.
I mean, I've never had the inclination of getting another one, you know. I got this one and I don't even remember getting it.
Oh, you was really drunk. Huh?
Yeah, I don't even remember what possessed me to, you know, get it, other than my friend said, hey, I do tattoos, you want one? And I'm like, well, maybe sometime. And then next thing you know, I'm getting a tattoo at his kitchen table, you know.
I'm sure if I would not have quit drinking when I did, I'd have probably ended up with more of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because mine wasn't even from a shop or anything. He did it at his kitchen table. We were just sitting there having some beers, and he pulls out the tattoo gun, and I said, I don't know why I picked, you know, what I did or anything. He's just, let's go, you know. And by the way, they're asking for the Keebler elf story.
The Keebler elf story. How'd they hear about that?
I have no idea.
I drove truck for Keebler Cookie Company for a few years. And back then, it was years ago, but their trailers had big pictures of the Keebler elves on the outside of the trailer.
Uh-huh.
and like at a bakery. And back then I was using a CB occasionally, but whenever kids or families would make a comment about the pictures on the trailer, I used to tell them that that was a picture of the elves working in my trailer. That we had a bakery in the back of my trailer, and the elves would be back there making cookies, and when they got a load, I'd go deliver it, and then they'd start another batch.
Yeah, so once they're ready to come out of the oven, you took
Right.
them over.
Right.
Yeah.
And the kids got a big kick out of that. That was a pretty good, it wasn't the best paying, but it was a pretty good job.
Yeah.
We'd, all of the big truck, or I mean the cross-country driving was just to warehouses, and it was always drop and hook with the trailers. And at the warehouses, if the drivers damaged a pallet, loading or unloading the trucks, they'd set it like in between the doors, and when the drivers come in, we could grab whatever we wanted to.
Oh, you get a little sample, huh?
Right. So when, you know, if you get your favorites, and
Stock up on them, fill a cabinet, huh?
Right. Because some of the places, if we went in and looked for what we wanted, if they didn't have any, we'd tell the forklift driver, you know, I'd sure like to have some of such and such. And
Yeah.
he'd go out and ram the forks into the bottom part of the pallet, so he ruined a whole layer of bags. And
Yeah. It's like you think some of those could fall off the forklift next
then-
time I'm through here, you know?
He'd bring the pallet out and set it there first. I had one time I pulled into a place and they had a whole bunch of fresh popcorn out there. Man, I loaded. My co-driver was in the sleeper, and when he woke up, he was flat covered with bags of popcorn. I loaded his whole seat and everything over him with popcorn.
Couldn't move because of all the popcorn, huh?
And he had 4 kids, and I had 2, and we had a neighborhood full of kids. And there was nothing wrong with the popcorn. It just got a little bit too much coloring. What they wanted.
Yeah, I did that one time to the wife. I was driving for Prime back then, and we had the refrigerated division. Well, another driver was on the yard, and I come in, and he had a whole trailer load of, I think they were chicken breast or turkey breast. They were Purdue, you know, just cases and cases of them. So I was like, well, I guess gotta throw it out. They told me to get rid of it. He's like, take whatever you want. There's nothing wrong with it. It was just rejected. So I had the whole passenger seat piled up, in between the seats piled up, and the sleeper piled up. So yeah, I called the wife. I'm like, hey, you gotta come meet me somewhere. I'm not coming through the house, but come meet me somewhere, get all this stuff. So she got it, took it home, put it in the freezer. And then next time I was through the house, we spent time, you know, because, you know, chicken is puffy. They're in those packs and there's extra room. So we spent a whole afternoon sitting there cutting open all these packs of chicken and then vacuum sealing them so we could stack them in the freezer properly. But, I mean, we had that stuff for probably months. And I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, it's like, hey, come and get it. All right, don't got to tell me twice, you know.
Yeah, it was pretty. I had a friend of mine that delivered a load of real big, they call them, I think they were called prawns.
Yeah, the big shrimp, the prawns.
Big shrimp.
Yeah, like the ones the fancy people eat. They're too much for us, you know,
I
but
couldn't no way afford them.
yeah.
But he called me one day and he said, hey, come on over. And he said, they overloaded my trailer. And I went over there. He gave me 2 great big 50-pound boxes of prawns.
Oh yeah, can't turn down seafood.
And he had unloaded his trailer and still had like 5 boxes left over what the invoice called for. So
Yeah, it's always fun in trucking, you know, when they either let something on there. Like I've had that with, what was it? It was Nabisco crackers, like the cheese and peanut butter ones. Yeah, I pull out from the door, I look in here, and I'm like, I still got 2 whole pallets of crackers. So I go back into the shipping office. It's like, hey, you guys left something on. They're like, oh, no, we didn't. We got what we ordered. I'm like, well, what am I doing with these? Yeah, but then that's always the headache, because you got to call the broker and go, hey, you know, I still got stuff on the trailer. I need this thing empty. What do you want to do with it? You know, and it's that back and forth game, you know. And then most of the time the broker just goes, well, we don't want it, just donate it, you
Find
know.
someplace to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call your wife again and tell her to get down here.
Yep. Yep, or start packing it into the side boxes and the cabinets and anywhere else she can put it, and then pull into the truck stop and get on the CB. It's like, hey, come on down here by the Catskill. I got a whole trailer load of whatever. It needs to be gone, you know.
Yeah. I've seen people do that.
Yep, I've done it myself several times, you know. It's like, I don't care how many you take, just get it off my truck, you know. Come on down. Yeah.
A lot of experiences.
No, yeah, I've had cantaloupes, watermelons, like I said, you name it, I've had drivers give me. Candy bars was a big one I used to get a lot of. Seems like always they either overcount the candy bars or something, but gotten so many candy bars at the truck stops, you know. Yeah.
Hauled a load of potatoes once out of.
Ooh, I've never enjoyed potatoes. I've done them. They make a heck of a mess. You're in there sweeping out that trailer for the next 3 days, you know.
I got them down by the Mexican in what is it? San Antonio? Somewhere near the Mexican border. And about halfway across the country, they were going to I think it was Wisconsin. A potato chip factory.
Yeah.
And about halfway across, I broke down.
Oh, no.
And I had to unhook from the trailer, leave it out in the parking lot in the summer.
And you're running vented, probably, not refrigerated,
Vented,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So you can't...
2 days. And
That whole load went, didn't it?
I thought it did. I got to where it was going, and I thought I just bought a load of potatoes.
Yeah, because, I mean, the
And
people watching don't know, but a vented trailer, that airflow is what keeps it cool. I mean, you're not running a refrigerator.
Listen to what happened, though, is I opened those doors, and it stunk. And I could see these rotten potatoes.
Mhm.
And they told me to go so-and-so park, and we'll come and get you. And they back you onto a waste scales that does this.
And they just dump you out.
The
Yeah.
potatoes just dump out. So I didn't say anything. I just figured see what happens. And they dumped them out. Told me where to go park. They brought me all the paperwork signed and everything. And the guy didn't say a word.
Oh, goodness.
So I signed everything, and then I asked him. I said, you know, it seemed to me like there's quite a few rotten potatoes. He said, oh, don't worry about that. We're allowed 20% spoilage. And I thought, and that's the difference, I guess, in a potato chip when you see a dark spot or something.
Oh, no, I'm not going to enjoy potato chips
Yeah.
anymore. Making them out of rotten potatoes?
I don't know how they do it, but he said, oh, don't worry about that. He said, you're good. He said, we're allowed 20% spoilage. So I don't.
That's terrible. Yeah, I almost bought a load of watermelons once, and it was because of Virginia DOT. Because, I mean, you've hauled produce. You know, a lot of times the bills don't say the weight on them.
Right.
So I'm rolling through Virginia, and Virginia's notorious. But to every other state, I brought them up out of Georgia, you know. Every other state just let me roll through. Virginia pulls me in, and they're like, oh, well, you're overweight. Can you do anything to shift it? You know the song
Yeah.
and dance, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look at the scale paperwork, and I'm like, well, no, I'm over gross. There's nothing I can do. You know, if I shift it, it's just going to be overweight elsewhere, you know. So they write me the ticket, and then they're like, well, we got to see if we can let you continue and stuff. I'm like, well, what do you mean you got to see if I can let you continue? And then, so I shut the truck off. And I don't know if you've heard, but my truck has different injectors in it now. Well, that's when my truck decided the injectors were done. So I shut the truck off. I get my overweight ticket. start the truck back up, and it's running kind of funny. I have no power. It's just awful. So I get it just across the PA line to a shop. I can't remember the shop right now. It's Greencastle, right there where the TA is at the PA state line. I get it into the John Wayne Travel Plaza there, and there's a shop there called Antrim Diesel. I take it into them, and I'm like, man, my truck's running funny. It's like, I know I'm heavy, but I know this truck, and I've got no power. So anyway, I end up having to drop the trailer there and having someone come recover it. And those watermelons sat for a day. So I know exactly what you're talking about, a vented trailer and produce. It
can be scary.
It is very scary. I thought I bought a load of watermelons and a full set of injectors.
I never had to, but I've talked to guys who have had to, when they were overweight, they had to pull around back and sit there and hire somebody to come in with a pickup truck or something.
Yeah, and that's what I thought they were going to do to me, because he hauled around for a while, and they finally like, okay, you can go. Here's your ticket, you know. And it was a couple $100. I mean, overweight tickets aren't that bad, you know. And once you get one in a state, you can't get a second one, fortunately, you know. So I'm like, well,
same load.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm like, okay, you know, but it was just that icing on the cake that I go fire that truck back up, and she's just spitting and sputtering, and I'm like, what the heck is going on with my truck?
But that cost you a couple $.
Oh yeah, I had a friend that did the injectors, but each injector was $1,500.
Wow.
Nice part is it's a 450 block, and he looks at it, he's like, well, I've been a Cummins tech for 30 years. He's like, why don't we drop the 600 injectors in here? They're the same size, will drop right in. So yeah, my 450 is doing 6 1/4 to the ground now, because we dropped the injectors and then we did a dyno tune to set up the new injectors and everything. He's like, well, let's put a little more to it. Let's put a little more to it. So we kept putting more power to it until we didn't get no more, you know. So once we got to that point, you know, he knew it was the air mixture restricting it, because you kept giving it more fuel, you didn't get more power. He's like, all right, we're right at the edge of the turbo. We'll dial it back just a little bit. We'll call it good. We threw it on the dyno one last time, did 6 1/4 to the ground and over 22,000 pounds of torque.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but when we're convoying, I'll leave Area 52 at the bottom of the hill, and I got a load. Yeah.
Well, I've been behind him. He gets pretty slow going up the hills.
Oh, yeah. He ain't got a load in that trailer. I got a whole trailer full of all our supplies and stuff, and I'll just walk those hills. Yeah. But yeah, that's so. I mean, yeah, the injectors going out kind of stunk, but now I got a hot rod truck, because it's one of those, you're replacing it, you might as well make it better, right?
So are you leased to somebody?
Yes, I am, but I pretty much do my own thing.
Okay, so
Like, I'll go out on the boards, find my own freight, I'll send them to Raycon and go, here you go, sign this, you know. So yeah, but I'm just leased to someone because I don't want all the headaches. You know, I have my own plates and tags, and I used to do my own IFTA even, but they talked me into letting them do my IFTA now. But yeah,
all that stuff, man. That was probably one of the biggest reliefs off of me last year, with all the other problems not being able to work anymore.
Yeah,
was the day that I quit my IFTA and dropped my DOT number and all that stuff.
Because I mean, it's a lot to remember, because you got the heavy highway use you got to pay every year, then every 3 months you got to do the IFTA, then the insurance comes out, and then you got to send your, I can't remember what the insurance verifications are. I mean, whenever someone you haven't hauled for before asks you to send over all your insurance documents, you got to send that packet over, and it's just one headache after another. You know, it's paperwork on top of paperwork. Oh, and then you got to make sure you get paid, because some places pay every 30 days, some places pay 60, some pay 90. So you got to, you know, keep your ledger and all that. And there's a lot to trucking that the average person don't know, you know.
I was real fortunate with the pay. The company I hauled those trailers for was like, as long as you had your paperwork in and you could do it internet. I think it was on Sunday. As long as you had it in on Sunday, you got paid the following Friday.
Okay, so they did it in advance for you.
And in the cars, a lot of times, individuals hauling a car, a lot of times they give you cash.
Yep, that's true too.
And but I never had check go bad on me or anything.
Yep.
But sometimes you'd be walking around with a whole bunch of cash in your pocket. If you haul 3 cars and they all paid you cash.
Yeah. Or if you even were bigger, you know, some of them guys that haul those big
6,
car
8
haulers.
cars, yeah.
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 Yeah, that's the nice thing about cars, though, is I've always talked to the car hauls, and all of them love it. They're like, yeah, we just show up when we get there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to talk you right into dinner, probably.
Probably getting close. I haven't seen anybody piling up over there yet.
Yeah, I know they said they were shooting for 6. And yeah, we're right at 6 now.
6.
Yeah.
Guess we could wander over there and see what's going on.
Yeah, it's going to be fish and bratwurst tonight, and it's going to be baked fish. They're not breading it this time. So, but yeah, well, thank you for all the time. Everyone in the chat here has been, you know, really enjoying this chat.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I one time when we were in Sacramento, there was that little taco shop that we ate at.
Yeah, was that the one where we parked at the Pilot and walked around the corner, or
No, we parked in an alleyway.
parked in an alley?
I don't remember seeing.
Was that the time I was back at camp waiting on you all?
That could have been.
Okay.
It could have been.
Yeah, because it was the one time me and Grey Wolf were sitting back at camp because they
Right.
were sitting back there waiting to bring in the food and the other 4-wheelers and stuff.
Yeah, that was probably it. But yeah, we circled around the Capitol about, I think, 3 times, and there was a taco shop on the corner there that pretty much catered to office, you know, and they sure weren't used to a bunch of truckers.
Y'all got a little bit of funny looks coming in there, huh?
It was good. Santa came in, and I sat with him, and he had his thing going, talking to people, and then the lady, I think her name was Lisa, the mayor, the lady they called the mayor.
Yeah.
She came over and talked to Santa for a while. He got up and walked off and left his camera going. He said, here, you guys visit with my people for a while. So the 2 of us sat there for about an hour before he came back. And that's the only time I've ever actually tried to read questions and answer them.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is what I'm looking at.
Yes.
You know, they're asking about your headband and We Heart Bryant. And you remember that? That was awesome, the taco shop. So, yeah, I mean, it just keeps scrolling.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had a heck of a time keeping up with
It's hard.
with those.
Yeah. Especially when they get really chatty because they just keep going and going and going. Yeah.
So anyway, between that and doing what you're doing right now and holding a camera in front of your face all the time, I don't think I even want to get into that part of it.
Yeah. See? And that's like, it just keeps going.
Bryant Superman. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's hard to, you know, I've been a loner all my life until this happened. I didn't want a lot of friends, and now to see my name on something like that from somebody clear across the country or something, and
Clear across the country. We're worldwide. I have people in here all the time from other countries, and
yeah, I think there's somebody. I was thinking it might be you, but there's somebody that told me they had somebody in Scotland.
there's a bunch of hearts for you. Yeah.
It's fun. My kids can watch me, and they'll
Yeah.
call a lot in the evening and tell me what they saw me doing that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's continuous. They're just all there being supportive. I mean, every now and then you'll have someone that comes in that just tries to stir up things, but mostly everyone's super supportive. I mean, right now they're just sitting there looking out a window, listening to us talk in the background, and you know.
I think, did I already tell you about Saskia?
Sasnak?
Sasnak?
Yeah.
Telling me somebody asked him asked how Bryant was doing.
Yeah, you told me about that, and you thought they were talking about Brian.
He thought they were talking about the other Bryant.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, someone's just saying they hope to say hi to you tomorrow when they pick up their sticker, because my wife makes stickers, so that's what the sticker
Oh, yeah.
part is about. So, yeah.
I guess I already said I'm looking forward to getting to Washington and see what happens from there.
Yep.
How to get my commitment done? Who knows? I might die again there.
Yep. Oh, here we go. We got one. Hey, Mud Pig, tell Bryant hi from me from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
So we got one from New Zealand right now.
Good grief.
Yeah. And now they're telling us to go eat.
Go eat. Okay.
I don't know if it's done yet, but yeah, they're saying go eat.
Walk over and check.
Yeah.
It's nice getting here this early and having
Dinner
this
time,
much-
get in line for supper. Yeah, it is nice, getting here early and having some time to relax and chat, and it's not dark for once,
Right.
and not cold and windy.
Right.
Yeah, and I know the headband story, but they're asking again. You don't remember where it came from, right?
No, I really don't. And I think that's what some people recognize me by. I really don't. I used to, years ago, in Gallup, New Mexico, it was before the interstate system. We used to have to drive right through downtown Gallup. And there used to be some Indians that would lay out a blanket and sit there and sell their stuff that they made themselves. And every once in a while I'd stop and buy my wife something. And that's the only place I could figure that I might have got this.
You just had it longer than you can remember.
Yeah, I've had it for years and years. And X-Ray, for whatever reason, he told me he knew about Indian jewelry and stuff, and he said it looked to him like it was a original Indian made, not one of the made in China ones.
Yeah, no, not a knockoff, right? Oh, and someone says there's still lots of Navajo sales in the highway by Gallup today.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. So someone's familiar with that they're still out there selling them off blankets now.
And boy, you could stop and buy something from them, and I never bickered with them about prices. And whatever they were asking is, I'd hand it to them. But you could see jewelry there and get home in California and go to a high-end store or something and see a piece of jewelry just about exactly the same for about 10 times the amount of money.
Probably someone bought it and took it and marked it up.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
They were always nice people and sitting there in their Indian dresses and headpieces. You could tell they worked making their stuff.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's go see about some dinner.
Let's go.
I mean, we'll both talk all night. I mean, we're truckers. That's what we do.
Yeah,
We stand around and we talk, But yeah, someone's saying that he bought a lot of turquoise jewelry from that area. So, but anyway, well, thank you for this. Everyone seems to enjoy it, and they say we should do this some more.
We talked about it once a long time ago.
Yeah, but we've never had the time to actually
That's the thing.
hang out and chat.
Yep. That's nice. Yeah, we could do it again. Just sit down next time. And just visit with the people.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a phone, we can pull the chat up and even take questions. Yeah, because they're asking questions. You know how this goes. It just goes so fast, you miss a lot of things,
Right. And I'd hear like the G's on that night after dark thing they do, and other people, the streamers, apologizing. You know, now if I didn't get to your number or your question, just send it in again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, most of my people are used to it. They know I might miss some here and there, but you know, if we're having a good conversation, I'm not going to interrupt you to ask another question. We're already working on one, you know. Yeah. I like that one though. I'd rather hang out with a trucker than a politician any day, is what someone said.
Well, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I guess maybe. It just, I don't have a good frame of mind about a lot. I figure if somebody makes it higher than a mayor, then they're pretty good liars and well into the system.
Yeah. I mean, you can sometimes get lucky and get the school board, or like you said, a mayor, or maybe the sheriff or something. But yeah, after that, I think I'd have to agree with you. You got to have some connections or some deep pockets to make it much further.
Years ago, I heard somebody, I guess a retired senator or somebody, talking about being a senator and stuff. And he said, everything that they tell you all goes to the wind when they walk in office. The very first day, the most important thing on their mind is getting reelected.
Yeah.
Doing whatever they got to do to get reelected.
Oh, there you go. Someone said politicians are like diapers. They need to be changed often. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to either remind them that they work for us or get out so we can get someone in that does, you know? Yeah.
Sure doesn't feel like they work for us.
No, not at all. No. And then now they're saying that, you know, your convoy famous. He's so tickled that so many know him. That's great. And we all are. I mean, like I've told you before, you know, people come by and you ask, oh, I haven't seen so-and-so in so long. It's like, can you go check on them and make sure they're all right? You know, it's just...
And there's just included, it happened here. For I don't know how long. It's like every time I stop, and there's a crowd around or a group of people or something, somebody will walk up and say, hey, Bryant, how are you? I'm glad to meet you. And
I have it happen all the time, and I always feel like I gotta tell them, it's like, okay, step back a second. It's like, you know me. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you, you know? Because they walk up like they know you, and it's like, well, they kind of do. But at the same time, it's like, well, I know nothing about you. We can't have a one-sided conversation here, you know? It's like, let's talk a little bit about you. We'll talk a little bit about me, and we'll have a conversation, you know?
And I learned before I got here, when I was pretty much recliner ridden, I guess. I lived in my recliner. But watching, like, the Canadian protests and then the first part of this one, you get attached to the streamers and the people. I mean, I found myself often trying to, hey, mud pig, you put it over there or something.
Yeah. I mean, I have people remind me to turn my lights off. I walk away from the truck and they'll notice the headlights are on. They'll go, okay, you left the lights on. I'm like, huh, did I? And I'll turn around and look, and sure enough, they're on, you know.
I got a message the other day after I loaded her trailer and going down the highway. I got a message. Well, it was that Tim and Michelle, they used to spend a lot of time with me in Sacramento. And he drove my truck a few times. Anyway, I got that trailer loaded and I was going down the highway, and I got a message from Michelle telling me that the ends of the straps were dragging on the road.
Yeah, they look out after us. Yeah. And by the way, I had someone asking earlier if you could remember who you used to watch back whenever you were, before you joined us.
I think when I very first started, the only one I knew that I watched mostly was Oreo Express.
Okay.
And it was a while before I even learned that there was others, and you know, and stuff. But you're one of the ones I enjoyed, and I kind of slowed backed off of Oreo Express. Santa, I like to watch him.
Yep.
And I kind of got hooked on Charlotte for a while when she showed up, that girl from Canada.
Yeah. Yep. And by the way, I'm going to cut this short a little bit. Apparently there's a meeting outside by the tables right now. So I guess we should probably head out and see what they're talking about.
What they got to say, even though Santa said a while ago they were going to meet.
Yeah, I thought that too. But I don't know where these tables are, but they're saying there's a meeting.
This, I think.
Oh yeah, looks like everyone's gathered right here.